Your call has been forwarded to an automated.
Hey there.
Hey, welcome to Vibe Osmosis. How's it going tonight?
It's going good. How about you?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. It's been going alright for myself. I was just working on some music. How about you?
Oh, yeah. We were working on some music earlier today as well.
Yeah, we've been just hanging out around the house though. Also,
Chilling.
inside. Music days are inside days.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I feel you on that one. Nothing wrong with an outside music day, though.
True.
That's true. No, it's been so cold here.
Yeah. Where are you guys at right now? Just wondering.
Currently, we're in Baltimore,
So,
Maryland.
So how is the winter coming along?
It's been pretty good. I mean, it's been really back and forth with weird weather changes, but
We had a really nice summer. I'm not much of a winter person, but it's definitely nice around here.
the worst part is the wind on the bay.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. That's always the windiest part. So
Exactly.
I want to start off with, some favorite fan questions. Like for me, personally, Alex, you can go first for this one. Your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? It's hard to say because there's so many good movies out there. We recently watched, oh my gosh, First Reformed. That was absolutely phenomenal.
What was it?
First Reformed.
I haven't heard about
Um,
that.
it's really cool.
It's a really atmospheric.
It's got Ethan Hawke.
And he plays
a preacher.
yeah.
It's like
talking with, I don't want to give
Too much of it away,
It's
but
like a dark
religion
environmentalism.
movie.
It's really
Yes.
good.
I would definitely give it a spin. That sounds
I
up my
highly
alley.
recommend it.
you definitely should check it out.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke is definitely a fan favorite of mine. I recently just watched Before the Devil Knows You're Dead for the first time as an adult, and I watched it as a kid, seeing my parents have it on, but I finally got to watch it to sit down and watch it for myself, and I was like, damn, Ethan Hawke. And Philip Seymour Hoffman. I was like, damn, this movie
Oh
was
my
really,
god.
really tight for. I don't know, I just
That sounds
didn't see it coming for me.
interesting. I mean, Ethan Hawke and Philip Seymour Hoffman, what a combo right
Yeah,
there.
that's a really, really good dynamic on how that is all portrayed. But yeah, I'll definitely give this a spin. So, what's some music influences for you guys lately? Have you guys been listening to any new music? Have you guys been sticking to the same stuff?
So, I kind of always am taking in new music personally. I think that I don't really stick on anything for too long. I have a lot of I feel like that's more of a new thing in the past few years though. I used to just have I'll go through periods where I have favorites. And definitely my last favorite was
I listened to a lot of Charlie XCX. But before that, it was
Animal Collective, and then it was
the Beatles and Yes.
and yeah. Those are some of the top ones for me that are in the
Still in the main rotation, but I try to listen to a lot of new music.
just stuff that comes out recently and see what people are up to.
Yeah, that's always important. Any other additions? Yeah.
Yeah, Alex, do you have any?
Yeah, no, I'm kind of a pop head, especially for modern stuff. I love Charlie XCX too. I actually got Copeland into her, but
She did.
I also I'm trying to think there was this really cool Kilo Kish album that came out this year called American Girl. That's just absolutely phenomenal. I'm a producer, engineer person. I love mixing, so I'm really into modern production, mixing Arca and Sega Bodega are really big instos for me, and Sophie, of course, and they're just kind of obsessions for me. I definitely am a person that I listen to things repeatedly a lot.
I think I just like anything that's weird.
True. True.
I definitely have checked out some of those artists who showed out live, and I would say even the performances, they hold up to the recordings as far as like being a fan of like the records, and then like kind of following them and seeing them live, and you're like, whoa, that's just like I'm gonna keep on going to the shows, you know, like I'll make it out. And like I think I've always traveled pretty far to see the bands I like, just because like just how it goes sometimes, and sometimes I'll never, you know, stay in the same place.
Yeah.
Also, I have another fun little question. So go ahead and
Ooh.
introduce you guys, like your names, what you do,
Okay.
and the band specifically.
Okay. So, my name is Alex. I am one of two members of RedFred. I do a lot of the production, mixing, and mastering. Because I didn't get into music until a little later in life. Copeland actually has always done music, and I kind of just wound up jamming with them a lot, and that's kind of how RedFred really came to be, I would say. And one of the parts that I really just ended up gravitating towards was the bending of sound that already existed with like the mixing and the production. I love just making the sounds shine, you know?
Since we met, like, I guess 6 years ago, we've always been creating with each other, and a lot of it was like visual art at first, and we still do paint and sculpt stuff with each other a lot. But
Because RedFred's multimedia at the end of the day. We focus on music, but like the multimedia is all a part of it.
I
so
have noticed that, and that's really, really sweet. That's definitely something I wanted to talk about as well, but continue.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah. Did you need to say more, Alex?
Nah, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Copeland. I'm the other half of RedFred. Yeah, no, I guess where's my roots? I've kind of traveled around a lot, but we both are generally from North Carolina.
I'm from Asheville.
She's from the mountains in Asheville. I'm from Charlotte,
Boo.
banking city. Kind of boring. But I moved her. Yes, that is true. That is true. There is cool stuff in Charlotte, but yeah, no, I moved around a lot though. We met in Asheville. We formed RedFred in New York City around the time that the pandemic started, actually. So it's kind of when we were just inside a bunch and, you know, hanging out and just making a lot of stuff because there wasn't really anything else to do
in tiny little New York closed spaces. So.
Yeah, that was pretty much that was when Hippie Jam Band, our first album, was largely made during that period. But yeah, no, I like all kinds of music, I guess, and I try to kind of filter all of that through RedFred as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we try to kind of mess with different mediums
as much as possible.
I feel like it makes sure you don't get too stiff, you know.
Exactly.
Kind of put your energy through different mediums just allows for a fuller creative
output.
And it's an interesting way to like reach new people.
Because I have always been a visual artist since I was like really young, and Copeland's always done music since he was really young. And it's just really cool to find new ways to reach people, right? Because some people will be maybe like, those are some real cool visuals, and then might end up like checking out your music or vice versa. And it's just, I feel like it creates a larger community that way too.
Yeah.
Hey, Copeland, so how did you first start making music? How long have you been making music? Yeah, so dive into that.
So I've been pretty heavy into music my whole life. My dad was in bands since I was a baby, rock and roll bands, and my mom was classically trained. She went to school for oboe.
And from when I was about 8, I started piano lessons. And then when I was around 12 or 13, I started pursuing the French horn. And I did a lot of schooling for that through middle school and high school. And I still really like French horn and brass and stuff. But I moved more towards post high school playing guitar and synths. I got back into playing piano, so I was messing around with keyboards a lot and was getting into more electronic music and experimenting with that. And that was probably a pretty big game changer for me. I think that was about the time that I started making like my own songs. So I guess that was probably
maybe like that was around the time we met. So that was like 6 years ago. I feel like when I
moved to Asheville was when I really started creating. It's creative genesis. Lots of good scenery and nature definitely was
big into
kind of
an awakening for me, I guess, in a way,
because I had always lived in like just concrete jungle kind of places, and it just, I don't know, it was kind of like a breath of fresh air. And
literally,
yeah. And now I pretty much just try to play everything. I like drum machines and stuff. I don't really want to be too good at one thing. I would rather do everything because it's more fun to do more stuff. And I feel like there's plenty of people that like I really respect that, you know, just try to become virtuoistic. And I definitely pursued music classically for a long time, and that's something I respect a lot. I think I personally prefer to just be able to work on bringing lots of pieces
together
of different things rather
than just kind of narrowing on
one instrument.
I kind of have a personal background. Like I also did like trombone.
Cool.
Yeah, like I stuck with like I wanted, you know, to do percussion. But then, you know, I found like the love for like trying out different instruments younger for sure. So I don't know. Whenever I first heard of your music and I took the dive, I was just like, oh, this has like a lot of the elements that I've been like looking for or like also missing in like the live scene. And then, I don't know. I was just like, oh, this is definitely, you know, up my alley. And like, I don't know. So I just kind of wondered where that kind of madness came from in a way.
Well, thank you. I guess
I feel like a lot of the craziness is definitely
me and Alex's styles colliding. And I definitely I stem from some of like the wackiest music. Like I feel like things with a crazy energy, and I just want to be able to put that out in whatever medium I choose. You know, being a human, especially in you know modern day, is very chaotic and very, you know, I definitely feel like that's my my experience. It definitely stems from anxiety, but also just kind of fun, I guess.
Yeah. A love of the surreal too, in a way, of just
intense emotions bursting out, having to put them somewhere. I guess it's definitely just
it's a form of communication and a way of being able to express ourselves. And
it's the easiest way for me to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what astrological signs are you guys?
Oh, okay. So, me, Alex, I'm a Virgo, and my
moon and rising is
Sagittarius. And then Copeland.
I am a Pisces, and my moon is also in Pisces, and my rising is Cancer.
And also, just to divulge a little more info, Copeland's also got his Mercury and Venus in Pisces.
I got a lot of Pisces.
Very Piscean.
Very.
Oh my god.
Oh wow, really? Cool.
Yeah. The stars aligned.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're also
fact is that we're exactly 6 months apart.
too.
Oh,
exact
that's
opposites. I think that adds
yeah,
to the
exact
chaos.
I
opposites.
agree.
That exact opposites I think works for me. My girlfriend herself, she's a Sagittarius, and they say stuff
Yes.
about Sagittarius. So I'm like, oh well, this right here, it's got to be magic. You never know.
No, I
um,
think that creates some sparks for sure.
yeah. Like I definitely realized a lot of the different stuff in the astrology, more so lately, and I wondered if you guys also followed it.
Yeah, no, I definitely. So I had a period where I got really into astrology.
Alex more than me. Everything I know is from Alex.
I definitely like. I really like it. There's definitely like been periods where I've been more into it and less into it. And at this point in time, like I find it like such a fascinating way to talk with people, because how many other like ways can you communicate with someone and be like, I'm like this sign and it means that I'm kind of like this. Like I feel like it just opens up so many conversation pathways that like can be kind of like closed off to a lot of people.
Pathways is a good way to explain it for sure. Alex, I guess how long have you been making music? Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I am. So I guess I really started jamming with Copeland. Whenever we first met, like I can remember like some early hazy days of hanging around and like messing around on like GarageBand at one point, like jamming with with a bongo or with some like a keyboard and just kind of like goofing off.
Alex and I had always drawn together a lot, and I feel like I definitely pushed for us to kind of start trying to do some music together because I liked drawing, but I wanted to share with her the medium I was more familiar with, and she took to it very well, very fast.
I would say about probably 4 years though would be my guess of whenever I really started like adding in and feeling like I was like, wow, I can do this music thing, I can like have fun with this. I can credit myself as a musician.
I think especially once you were starting to produce more stuff.
Yeah, that was a really big turning point for me with especially our first project with the jam band. Well, we also had an EP before that called Pumpkinhead. But like those were the first times in which I was really like I'd like, done stuff on them other than the production, but like I just really dove in there with the production and the mixing, and it just really like it just became a love and a passion of mine. It's a way for me to like channel my own neuroticism and my own like it reminds me a lot of painting because I'm a painter. Like that was kind of like what I always did visually the most growing up with visual arts, and I kind of view like production and mixing as a form of like sonic sculpting and sonic painting. It's very like three-dimensional. I like finding like the smoothness with the compressor, finding that perfect EQ point, the perfect little reverb element to it. Like I really have transferred a lot of my visual arts into the music making process, it feels like.
Well, for the record, I have heard this about Virgos, being perfectionists. Whenever it comes to that, it's just like very hands-on. It's not so democratic on probably Copeland's part, but
The Sagittarius makes me love noise, though. That's what gets me to do the distortion.
Hey, that is something true, very true about the Sagittarius thing. Like it incorporates me to like use a lot more like funky aspects and like I don't know, things that I'd try to steer away from because I don't know lately. All right, so I checked out your guys' podcast. Please talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, glad you checked it out.
Thank you for checking it out. It's a new thing
For us to be able to just kind of put out more stuff while we work on bigger projects slowly, so we don't have to feel like so pent up, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that gets created along the way on the way to a big project, at least for me, because I kind of do things in spurts. Like I don't just stop and like
I feel like if I'm in a music writing period, I'm just making a lot of music. And not all of that feels like it's going to work for a singular like project, I guess, for me. But a lot of it's still stuff that I want to, put out and be able to like show people. And the podcast was a way for us to be able to incorporate kind of any medium of that, because we kind of see it as a giant catch-all, and it being pretty much everything but us doing a regular podcast, I guess. Kind of like this one. This one is definitely an instrument.
But yeah, we just kind of want to have a vessel to be able to speak to everything. Alex, what do you?
I definitely we've kind of discussed it as almost being an anti-podcast in a certain way.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's just a way for us to kind of be there in a more regular way with people while also still doing really what we want to with it. So like there have been weeks where we do like spend a lot of time like, glitching out like a portion of us actually talking, right? And then there's another week where we'll just be like, okay, we're actually just gonna have like some music in the background and like actually talk over it. But
it's a loose concept for us to paint over.
Exactly. It's a way for us
just to kind of be there
and give ourselves like a playground to play on that's not too constraining.
And also try to have I really like being able to do the mixes that we've been doing, and to
that's been one of my favorite
have a bit of a RedFred radio, because it's been nice to kind of bring people together. And that's the other thing, is I feel like along with wanting to share all the stuff that I make, I really like to be able to just show other people also, hey, check out this cool thing I found, listen to this. Like sharing music and sharing art are definitely super linked, and I think that's probably true for all musicians. But it's just a good vessel to be able to do that and share some of it.
The coolest of the music that we find can be some really cool folks like yourself.
Exactly. We yes.
So I guess I should record this. How do you guys feel about the classic rip-off artists, YouTube downloaders? Because to me, it's my god savior of like just finding what I like real quick, downloading it, sending it to my iCloud, so I have like all these songs, and like things that you just can't like always just pull up YouTube or whatever. So like, how do you guys feel about this stuff?
Okay, so if I
get what you're putting down here. Is kind of like
downloading
things to keep for yourself. Maybe back in the day, more like whenever like iTunes was actually more of a thing where you would have purchased it, maybe finding a way around it. Without using certain words here. I personally, I guess I don't have too much of an issue with it. I feel like as long as you're still like finding ways to support the artists, and like especially with like really big artists, right? Like I don't really see an issue with it at all. But like I do think that like especially with like smaller artists,
as long as you're
still like shouting out, still like kind of like maybe still trying to like stream it, like give them some streams. So like
I also feel like it's kind of it's really hard to monetize art, and I feel like the putting the monetary thing on the actual art itself kind of is it gives a lot of weird things on top of it. I feel like it's a necessary I guess evil, but I feel like trying to find other ways to monetize it are definitely ideal. Although if people decide themselves to pay for it, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I guess it's just I don't know. I definitely, for me personally, I don't want anyone to feel like they weren't able to listen to something I did if they weren't able to get it or whatever. Or however they did, I would just be happy that I would get to share that with them.
Exactly.
And I guess I personally feel that too also as a music listener. Like I just, I don't know. It's communal once you create it, and I feel like it's sharing the art for me is one of the biggest reasons to do it. So
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Totally. Like an example for me, is like whenever I was in Chicago for that show, I probably made like over 50 CDs, DVDs, of like, the recent music. Some of them were like actual visuals, some of them like on the DVDs had just like a variety of different like music videos and like hour projections with music. But I was just like, oh, I'm not really like gonna try and like, hey, sell this to this store and like have the store just like, I don't know, buy it to have it up on the shelf. I'm just gonna give it to people for free. I just think it's really interesting whenever the random people that do pick up that free CD and then like give it a listen, and then like later rolling down the road, like, yeah, I've been listening to that for like a while now, and like, thank you, for dropping that off. But like, that's one example I feel like for me where I'm like, yeah, I don't care like that came out there for free, and like now you have like all that stuff for free, even though you could have bought it or whatever, instead of like kind of getting the word out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, like whenever like a band, I'm really a fan of is The Garden. Whenever they released their album and they finally put it out on Bandcamp, once you listen to it so many times on Bandcamp, they tapped you out and made you either pay for it or you have go up on your private browser and keep on pulling it up and act like they didn't know that you were still re-listening or something.
Right.
So it's just like I later on, I downloaded it on YouTube so I could listen to the full album, at work on the headphones. And then once I found out they were on tour, I was like, obviously I'm gonna pay to go to the tour, and then bought the merchandise whenever they were there. So I was like, all right. In the end, it kind of like returned in a circle of way of like supporting the band, but also like, I don't know, using the internet to your advantage. Another one, like another one is like you like really good records, and you buy that record, but there's also some of them where you don't mind to just like stream it and or hear it in other ways. I just wanted to bring up that point. How do you guys feel about recording in the studio?
So I do think
Studio
recording it's cool. It's cool,
but I think that we live in an age where you can like do everything at home, which is even cooler, honestly.
Studio needs to be a playground. That's my only rule.
True.
Needs to be able to have like whatever happen in it. No restrictions as much as possible.
Oh, we're in an apartment, but we get loud. I've been really surprised actually
about
how loud we've been able
to get in our last two places, honestly.
People are nice to us because they love us screaming. It makes them happy.
Exactly.
That's rad. I'm glad you guys got that local feel. Whenever I lived out in Seattle, like I feel like we lived in a bottom apartment. I feel like me and my friends, whenever we would jam, we'd be playing out of like our amps and out of our like PA speakers and like out of our computers, and nobody ever made a complaint. But like that's like so great because they were just like rock on, I guess, in a way.
I do think there's a degree of people like accepting like being in an apartment that there's going to be loud noises. Like I don't know. I think that's what's upsetting it though is that they didn't mind the loud noise, but at one point they got
upset about a loud smell that we had, including incense. And I'm like, what is this? What is this?
Man,
this difference here.
They all can't handle the weed, that is for sure.
Exactly. They can handle the yelling, but not the weed.
I mean, I feel like in Seattle, luckily, they didn't mind that part. I feel like if that wasn't going down, I would have been, like, out of there way sooner than I left. But in Ohio, it's really, really, like, an iffy thing, even with the noise for me. So I was kind of wondered about that. So, like, what's your guys' favorite instrument?
Oh, the DAW? The DAW?
Mine's voice.
Alright, so voice and DAW. What kind of DAW do you guys use to get your music recorded? I know you guys have some really nice gear. If you want to shout out some of the favorite gear you guys have too.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. The DAW is definitely the favorite, but we like using everything.
Yeah. So we actually started out with Logic because we were able to get that from Copeland's dad.
We start. Did we start with? We might have
Well,
started.
we started with GarageBand.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then a shout
GarageBand
out.
was great. No hate
Yeah.
towards GarageBand.
No,
We used that and then Ableton.
Yes.
And we just kind of try to get as much stuff we've been collecting for a long time.
Yes, that's our investments.
We got an Ableton push that we use.
Yes, that's my little baby. It's amazing and beautiful. It's got buttons and knobs. What more could you need?
Yes.
And light up colors. Wow.
Very intuitive and very good for just being able to flow with.
Yeah.
We also have a lot of Electron stuff. We have the Digitact and the Octatrack.
The Octatrack is also my baby. It's kind of a complicated spitting baby, but I love it.
It's kind of like a DAW in itself. But I love both of those.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
like your guys' songs all have like varieties of like you know, instrument as far as like the guitars and like how it's like layered and set up with the progressions. So like how do you guys typically start a jam? Like what's it, I mean, I've seen you guys' live streams and stuff like, but like what's it like whenever you're going to record something that you're wanting to make official like in the past?
So usually super simple. I think we both like to build things from like very small. So in the live versions, it's not necessarily accurate to how it was created because I feel like the live version is almost a reinterpretation of that initial jam and creation for us, if that makes sense. And a lot of our stuff is based in loops, so usually that will be how it happens. I like to start with like just kind of recording sounds that I make a lot, just to kind of see where that takes me.
Or a sample.
Of just really anything, and just kind of try to start from just kind of a random point, and generally just kind of see where I end up. But as I go with projects and album making cycles, I feel like I start getting a little more focused in on a feeling, and I maybe think about like what instrument would bring out that feeling the most. Like when we worked on our second album up to I feel like I often wanted like piano. Like I just wanted like piano. Any kind of.
I always wanted to use the rat pedal or distortion pedal with a synth. That was always what I leaned for with that project.
Yeah, we had the theremin. It was definitely looking for things that were spooky. It was our Halloween album. And I feel like, but generally I like to kind of start projects and styles just in the most open way as possible, and then just kind of build from there for what feels right, I guess, if that makes sense. And that's why I like having so much stuff that I can just kind of cycle through.
And bounce between things.
It's taken years to build up our connection, but our collection of instruments, but very happy to have them now.
Yes.
So for me, as a youngster, 16, 15, I started making music, and like I had, I was buying the Korg, the beat machine, the little Korg beat machine, the MS like 20, like having like all the pedals, like all the like the guitar setup, cause like my cousin gave me like his nice Line 6 amp, so like I was really trying to go big, and like I recorded a variety of different tapes, and like just was like going for it. Do you guys ever record tapes?
We are interested in doing tapes, but we've been pretty like digital, honestly, has been a big thing for us. We're working on a project now, and we're looking to do some physical versions of it. But but like it's definitely always been like just a part of our ethos has been for the most part accessibility, and kind of like having it being accessible this day and age, I think has been just like a lot of digital aspect to it. So
we're not against it.
We're not against tapes. We're definitely like we really want to. It's just also like
it's in the future.
It's in the works. In the works.
I guess I really got lucky because my dad, he used to DJ and stuff, and he just like gave me like a bunch of old tape players that could record and like all his tapes.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna really go for it. I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
And like once I had like my friends come through and like record.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I was also wondering, do you guys have a favorite color?
A favorite what?
Favorite color.
Oh, yes. Chartreuse is mine.
Mine, honestly, I do not have a solid, consistent answer. Right now it's blue, but that's also the project we're in, because whenever we do like a thing, some kind of project, we like to have a color attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the RedFred thing, because Frederick the Mouse.
Yeah. So we actually got our name from, do you know Leo Leone, the child's book author?
I think I do know what you're talking about.
He did this book called Frederick the Mouse, and it's about this mouse named Frederick.
I
read it a lot when I was a kid, and I had Leo Leone books, and he was
just like, his art was so cool.
Yeah, and so like that's where we got RedFred from, because Frederick brought the colors for people, even whenever they were like, Frederick, what are you doing? How are you spending your time?
It's a really cute story, but it also is really like meaningful to me as a kid, and Frederick's a cool mouse.
And so the importance of
colors for us, essentially.
Red is probably my go-to, though, I guess. Gotta rep it.
Yeah, it's a great color. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
do you guys have a favorite project of yours?
Definitely our current one. It always is. It's always that. The release one.
I think probably our second album is probably
my favorite right now, but the newest one that we're working on is
the one that I'm most excited about. But everyone, we kind of have a special place for it, because we try to do something different. So they're not really just going to be like the same thing measured up against each other, but just
something different. Yeah,
they do all have some variety, and that's definitely something I look forward to, I guess, in this next record. Definitely look forward to hearing that. Once you guys get that out there, I would love to do a follow-up once, I get to hear it and share a track from that. But a track of mine that I've been really digging of your guys is, I guess, is more like the live thing, is like the stuff from Mars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was our
live set from Mars. I think we're actually one of the songs on there that we did.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
White Lotus is on that, and that's actually going to be on our new project in a bit of a different form, because there's so many different forms that these songs have taken.
I love doing the live versions because there's
just a new energy that like comes to the songs that's like really hard to capture with recording, and it's some of the most fun stuff to do is doing live recordings.
For me, I think that's why I've been more targeted about saving some of the really, really more particular stuff I have in mind for like getting into a studio. Just to get really, really loud and not worry about recording myself. But like, of course, like with like my friends that like I know, I feel like that would have the head space for what I do.
Definitely.
But there's this guy out here in the scene that like goes to a lot of live shows and records like the entire sets. He's came out to one of these ones that I did with Smith Math recently, and I've been really, really interested in putting out like a live album. Have you guys ever thought about doing something like that? I mean, essentially what you guys do is that, but
we have thought a lot about that. We're thinking maybe about saving up some of our favorite live
recordings that we put out, and maybe either doing a mix of favorite songs from them, or just maybe releasing one of our favorites as an album itself. But we thought
a lot about that. It definitely is something that we want to do in the future. Mhm.
We have some live sets that we planned for doing with
This new album coming up that we're pretty excited about, along with a second Fred Fest.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
cool. I'll be very excited for that. And as I have mentioned in the past, the show's all on the West Coast. I know it is quite a hike for you guys out there in Baltimore, so I guess we would maybe have to rethink this, or if we can make one of them happen and then I come out to you guys or something, that would be cool. If you guys have any shows lined up for 2023 you want to shout out?
Currently we're
Still setting something
up. We've got Fred Fest, which will be on March 9th.
And that's going to kind of probably kick off the season for us. We've been still, we're in the finishing stages on the album, and then right when we're done with that, we're going to start probably
seeing what we can set up.
try to have a little bit of a
release plan happening with that. Some shows, probably one in Philly. That's the one that I think I'm most sure about at this point. No way. Oof, yeah. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't since we've been here, but there was, I know that like in 2016
I was caked in. I lived here back in 2016. There was a really fucking bad storm. We were caked in for like a week. Like it was
ridiculous.
Yeah, like what was it, like several feet of snow at the very least.
Yeah,
like,
they just weren't as prepared here too, because Baltimore's still technically in the south, and they're definitely not as snow prepared as, you know, if you go up a little bit north to like you know, New York or something. And so it was just like shut down.
I remember some of those bad snowstorms a couple years back. I was in New York for one of them, and I remember like all of Manhattan, like nobody was out basically, and like I remember there was this show going on at a club called the Hollow. It's still a thing. But
I've heard of that actually.
yeah, they're really cool. They got really good shows come through. And they even still run whenever there's like a crazy ass snowstorm and there's something planned to, you know, 4 or 5 in the morning. I was just so, you know, like I was in like love with that idea, like the fact that they still don't care, like they're still gonna stay open, they're still gonna run music and still let people come through, even if they have to like walk there in the snow. And like I fucking did.
Yeah, it gives a place. That's the beauty of music, the community right there. It gives you something to walk through snow for.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he seems really cool. Definitely familiar with his work.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff.
I dug his stuff with Slasher Flicks.
Yeah, for sure. Did you guys happen to catch Slasher Flicks when they were on tour?
No, we didn't.
Man,
We're sad to miss it.
You missed out for sure. I'll tell you the story. So I seen the Slasher Flicks play out at the Ace of Cups in Columbus.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they actually had like a really small show. It was so small that they started allowing people in for free because it wasn't like a sold out show. And
wow.
I got there so early. I got there like I was on coke. I did like some decks. I was smoking with my friends. I was drinking. I took acid. because I wasn't the driver.
Party.
Yeah, and I went up to Avi. He was just chilling, and I like tried to like give him a CD.
That's so funny.
Yeah, like I remember even after he played, he was really cool and humble. I remember after he played, my friends went up to him and he like got a drink. Like my friends went up to him and he allowed my friends to drink out of his fucking glass of alcohol. And that was before COVID. That shit would never happen. But think about this: once upon a time, Avi was so sweet with fans, man.
I would definitely share my drink with Avi at this point in time, even.
Avi Tear is awesome. We actually, a couple of years ago, we saw him play in Asheville after Cows on Hourglass Pond came out.
That's a great tour. I've seen that too. That was a good tour.
It was such a good tour.
So good with
Deacon was playing
too.
too.
Yeah.
And I actually at the time I had this unstoppable urge to share this album that I found that I just thought he needed to hear, by a band called Comus. They're like a 70s psych folk, like freaky, folky, weird,
amazing shit,
cool, like fantasy music, and I decided to give him a copy of the record after
the show, and I was amazed to find that like it's a super obscure record. And I like gave it to him. He started like singing one of the songs off of it, and I was like, oh shit, okay. He was super cool though. Yeah, really, really chill guy.
Mhm.
I have a friend of mine that he's Smith Math. If you guys, you need to check out some of his projects, some side projects, because he got some ideas that I feel like we're tapping into. I don't know, this esque feel of I guess of what early Anko was kind of putting out there in a way. Do you guys have any great memories you'd like to share?
Great memories.
Probably us meeting was a pretty that's definitely
a big one.
And starting RedFred during
yeah, no, definitely. I remember
the first time I went to a waterfall.
Yeah, I remember us making the last song on Hippie Jam Band, straight up Hippie Jam Band. It was actually whenever we were in Asheville for a brief period, and I have a very distinct memory of us like banging out some like random found drum sounds and recording them.
That was a bad memory for me, but I'm happy with the song.
Oh my god!
We were like in between places.
It was a rough time. It was a good moment.
Good
in a
catharsis.
Rough
Yeah. That song means a lot to me, but
yeah,
but definitely a powerful memory.
Very much
that's
so.
the powerful memory column.
Okay.
Just from anybody? Ooh, okay. All right. So the one that comes out to my mind first is Way Out West, or it might just be Out West by Big Star. That song's awesome. Everybody should listen to it. That Radio City is an amazing album. I've been really listening to a lot of Big Star recently. Also, everyone should listen to Yellow Submarine by the Beatles. They should go back and listen to it again because it's a good song. Oh yeah, I love it.
Dreamer by Charlie XCX off of Number One Angel.
And
fantastic.
Also have to put out there.
Oh God, I would die if I still haven't seen her live. We were going to at one point.
I just know that I was just like
shit my pants.
Drip Drip by Comus. That's the other one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because of mentioning the Comus record earlier. Good weird folk music, spooky Halloween stuff.
Of course.
Thank you for joining Vibe Osmosis. Also, a little fun fact about Charlie XCX. She also did a little private show with James Franco's band, Daddy.
Really? I need to check this out then. No. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Amazing.
Next she'll be doing a show with us.
Exactly. Wait up. Charlie's gonna open for us, RedFred.
I keep the options open for the people that can open. That's why I'm like, anybody that's down to travel and play, like, just jump on board.
Yeah, exactly. If you're down, let's do it.
Any other songs that you'd like to mention before we wrap up? Sorry.
Born Slippy by Underworld.
Yes.
Solid. It's in the in Transpotting, I think. It's one of the songs in there.
And
Great, fantastic.
also, since we were mentioning Avi and Animal Collective so much, the classic Guy's Eyes by Animal Collective.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Weird, cool. We're excited to check it out. We've really enjoyed the ones that we've heard so far.
Yeah, we really dug your conversation with Peter Kimber. That was awesome.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god. That doesn't surprise me. That's really cool.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for having us.
We're actually doing it this Saturday this time as a little holiday special. The 24th we're going to be doing, but then we'll be back to Wednesdays, I think, for the 4th.
Yeah.
So we're going to do our 5th episode on the 24th of Saturday, a special holiday extravaganza, and then back to the regular scheduled programming with our 6th episode on January 4th.
So
we'll start bringing in some more live jams.
Yeah, yeah. I look forward to it, and we'll be enjoying a trippy holiday special.
Yes, exactly, exactly. You too.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah, it was great talking. Good night.